And we're live. What
Hello,
is
everyone.
up,
This is
people?
you bloody liar.
JurassiCast here. The person that I'm speaking as right now is Spino Dragon. God, my grammar sucks nowadays. Okay, you know what?
How about you let me do the intro?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Hello, everyone. This is the Dinosaur Hunter here. Welcome back to the Archosaur podcast episode. Something I don't remember.
JurassiCast.
It's Archosaur. Oh yeah, shut up. It looks like we're both terrible at crap.
Welcome to the JurassiCast, and I guess your host here in the account is Spino Dragon. So, hello
Today
world.
we're going to be talking about Rampage.
That awesome upcoming Warner Brothers video game movie.
Video game movie. Hey, I actually have news. I actually have news for that. Apparently they did a entire recreation, and they like brought in the whole original style. There's when you go, there's some place, and it was for the showing of Rampage, like the preview showing. But this place, like, it had an entire area for Rampage, and they made their own arcade game. It has the new Rampage movie has its own game now. Like, this time, its own version of the original video game series, which is holy crap. I give it a.
It says live, right?
Yeah, it's been live.
We started
it with.
Hello, everybody.
Why did you start it without me? I was the guys. I was trying to get to the community, and unfortunately, I can't do it.
Oof.
Why didn't you tell me?
You were waiting too long. Where were you?
Where was? What did I just tell you, Spino?
I didn't hear you. Seriously though, where were you?
Again, I was trying to get the community thing on so I could tell people to go here. Unfortunately, though, I'm one of the unlucky suckers who doesn't have community.
Oof.
This is why I tell people to go on Discord, but there's no... Anyone go on Discord? No, they don't.
Yep. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about Rampage. So, any thoughts of what you guys think of the movie so far?
I thought we were doing the retro.
The Rock and a white gorilla.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Oh my freaking god! We're supposed to do a retrospective.
Yeah, we're supposed to. This is like
Jeremy's
his episode.
So let's
this
just
is his episode. This is all about him.
Yep. So
he's
going, average kid.
Alrighty then. Now everyone here hopefully knows about Rampage getting a movie, but what for those who don't possibly know until now, more recently, is that Rampage was actually a video game series that dated back all the way towards the 80s. This particular game series was kind of popular until it kind of went downhill, but hey, I'm here to talk about the scraps and the things and the leftovers and whatnot, since I can officially state that I literally play every Rampage game. So there's that. So without further ado, here is the quote-unquote history and retrospective. Some trivia and facts and things like that. So let's start off with the original Rampage from 1986. Rampage in the arcades was, well, it was considered to be what was, I believe, arcade game of the year due to how it was, where in technicality it was the first ever giant monster video game where you play as giant behemoths destroying everything in sight. and laying waste, as well as eating people, destroying the military, and things like that. In said game, you played as three iconic parody-based characters, George, Lizzie, and Ralph, who were monsters that were mutated coincidentally enough at the same time, decided to keyword join forces and rock amok around America. In the game, your goal was, as the title implies, destroy everything in sight, eat things to regain your health, and, fight the military on the way. And without further ado, I might as well go with the origins of each character. Now, every time someone talks about Rampage, they always think the origin is basically, they drink mutated radioactive soda, and
Why does the
suddenly
wolf
they turn
fly?
into giant monsters. Primal, please. I'm trying to tell the lovely people about Rampage. We'll get to the movie when we can. Anyways,
Okay.
the thing that people mix up about the origins is that they think, soda mutates them. No, that is not in the original Rampage. Each game, technically speaking, has a different origin for the characters. So for the original Rampage characters, they were separately mutated due to weird things. For example, George ate a mega vitamin that I believe was produced by Scum Labs. Scum Labs is also important because they are part of the series. And due to eating said mega vitamin, he mutated into a Goliath primate behemoth. And we all know what happened there. Lizzie was a girl who decided to take a dip in a lake, which was also contaminated by toxic waste, also I believe from Scum Labs. And she turned into a iguana-based freakazoid that, I wonder what it resembled. And as for Ralph was an old guy who taste tested a not officially licensed product, and it had weird side effects, and he became a giant lichenoid-based creature. So yeah, in terms of story, there really isn't any story. In terms of what happens at the end, I don't really know per se, because there really is no story in the original Rampage. You just destroy everything in sight. As far as I'm aware of how many levels there are, last time I checked, there was about 796 or 64 levels. That much, because it was an arcade game. There was no way you were not going to beat that thing unless you were going to waste all of your coins. So yeah,
Oh, damn.
Guys, make sure to check the live chat every so often.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, in terms of what the monsters could do, the controls were simple. You just moved the joystick, you pressed a button to jump, and you pressed a button to basically use your fist and punch everything in sight, from the air to the ground to people in front of you. And another thing about Rampage is that whenever you're next to a building, if you go at the side of a building, and if you press up while facing towards that side of the building, the monster can also climb, similar to the likes of King Kong. And they can destroy the buildings just like that. And as well as getting food and items and eating people from there as well. So yeah. However, though, there are some, there's obviously obstacles and things like that. Like, for example, the military. The military will drain your health. Well, granted, you will feel nothing, as you won't flinch from, say, bullets that are flying into your face and your back. You'll lose health, but you'll still be fine. And if you get the person who's shooting you, then you gain not all the health you got wasted, but at least a good portion. But then we get to the hard stuff. Like, for example, be careful what you eat, because sometimes you'll eat, like, for example, skull and crossbones. That's basically poison. You eat that, your monster, like, just basically almost pukes. If you eat something like, for example, dynamite or things like that, your monster will have the exact same reaction of someone in a cartoon eating a bowl of hot peppers.
What are you talking about? Dynamite's delicious.
Okay then, Primal. Anyways, the other obstacles is obviously, okay, I've been saying the military, but basically tanks. Whenever a tank shoots you, unlike the other weapons, they knock you back. And whenever the monsters get knocked back, they have a funny animation where it looks like they're face palming, as well as also the buildings too. If you climb the top of a building, you can actually walk through the roof or the ceiling, whatever. However, if you do not crawl back down the building by pressing or just using the controller to go down, the monster will look like it's about to fall, and if said thing is too late and if you don't put in the input in time, the monster will fall to its bottom, to put it lightly, and it'll take some health off. And basically, game over, or whenever you lose all your health, the monster will sit down and revert back to their original form. While also being naked. Yeah, for kids, things like that. But yeah, nothing else to say about the original Rampage. It did made the way for monster games as they were, and the destruction was really good. So yeah, Rampage was considered an arcade hit back in the day, and it kind of holds up. I mean, I haven't played the original Rampage in a few, and by few, it just mean a day because something I'll get into really later. But for what it's worth, it's an okay. It's fun to play it. Don't play it a lot because if there's one problem that each game has to a degree, it's they can be repetitive. And after that, Rampage got home ports to consoles. Consoles I think these guys might not know. But the ones that I remember from the top of my head of where it got ports from, Rampage got ports. The original arcade game had a ports to the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Sega Master System, the Commodore 64. I believe the Atari 2600, if I'm not mistaken. Just basically things like that. Old 8-bit consoles. Alright, also appeared in Atari Lynx where they added an extra character, which I might as well go into. Larry the Rat, who is only exclusive to the Atari Lynx version. Origin, I don't know because they never specified. He's just a random rat monster that they decided to add as a fourth one, even though it makes no sense because, well, what's the point? You have 3 characters. You might as well choose one of them. It's good enough for the time being, but yeah. But yeah, that is the original version of Rampage. Now, after that, 11 years later, or technically speaking, 9 years later, development on a new Rampage game was on the works. And that game was Rampage World Tour. Rampage World Tour, also to get some confusion out of the way, no, Rampage World Tour is not a sequel to the original Rampage. It's actually a remake. The difference there, besides the style, is that in terms of origin, the monsters yet again have a different origin. Again, it's not Scum Soda. We'll get to that when we get to that. The monsters, the humans, when they were humans, they were actually lab assistants to Scum Labs. And yeah, Scum Labs actually makes a comeback in this game. So yeah, they'll be a part of the series. Basically, they were employees in Scum Labs until a freak accident that is reminiscent of the Hulk happens, and instead of turning them into not so jolly green giants, they turn to not so jolly giants. They're animalistic and monstrous, and go on a murderous destruction killing spree. So yeah, obviously we still have the original characters. We had George, Lizzie, and Ralph, but this time in different styles and different styles and to a degree different characteristics, but all around they're the same thing. Just again, different details. So basically, what you do is that instead of destroying America, which the original Rampage was about, as the title implies, World Tour, you destroy the entire world. If three monsters destroying America wasn't bad enough. So yeah, the gameplay is really different from most Rampage games because, well, by most Rampage games I mean the original game, because in the original game you were stuck to one screen and you destroyed buildings by just climbing into them and nothing really there happened. It was kind of slow gameplay. World Tour, on the other hand, actually introduced something that some games
Guys, we're only missing Rango.
Oh. Hey, man.
So,
We're doing like a Rampage retrospective.
I know,
Long time
I've
no
been
see.
listening.
Anyways, back to World Tour. But the gameplay in World Tour is actually different because it's actually side-scrolling. Well, by that I mean, how do I put this? Basically, when you move, the camera moves, something like that. And when you move up, the camera moves up. When you move down, the camera moves down. When you go to the side, the camera follows you to that side. So it's way different, and the maps are actually larger than they were in the original Rampage, which kind of make World Tour a bit more fun because there was more to destroy than just a couple of buildings that were stick to one area and you just climbed and destroyed those buildings. So yeah, and plus as well, new gimmicks and new things were added, new animations, new things. For example, whenever you were on top of a building, you can actually smash it from your fist by hitting it down, and it will also help break the buildings faster. In fact, that was one of the more trademark methods on how to break the buildings faster in Rampage. Another thing they add is, well, in terms of attacks, you get a kick, which if you were to play with other players, if you kick them in the front, you kick. They're a very special place, and they do an animation reacting to that. I'll say that much. And in terms of other stuff, another thing they added, which is kind of funny actually, whenever you tap the jump button now, the monsters flap their wings, and they can actually fly from that. Well, by fly I mean gliding, but yeah, they could glide from that. And that usually is helpful for like getting point A to point B. In fact, that's faster than walking. But yeah, another new gimmicks is, well, the power-ups. There's actually power-ups, believe it or not, in World Tour. I don't know if they're really carried into other Rampage games, but one of the power-ups is if you eat a certain food that is based on a trait or is a favorite food of the character. For example, with George, he's an ape. If he eats a banana, he gains more health. Those are called mega foods. They help increase a monster's health if that so happens to be their favorite food. I believe with Ralph, it's steak. Yeah, steak. And for Lizzie, it's eggs, I believe. Other powers that are there is, I believe it's called Hot Leads or something like that. Basically, you hit a TV with a smiley face, and when the smiley face like smiles or winks, the monster can spit and shoot fire from their mouths, which is kind of horrifying. Granted, it's baffling as to how they can do that, but still. Another one that's also done via smiley face, but the smiley face like screams. If you get that, you get something called Death Breath, where the monster roars so loud, buildings crumble instantly. So there's that. There's also lies, because, well, this Rampage game also, like the last one, has lies. If you get extra lies, well, you live longer. And then there's things like, for example, the Super Punch or Mega Punch or something like that. Basically, if you hit in the buildings an icon of either boxing gloves or weights, the monsters have an increased punch. And if they just punch one side of the building, that part of the building, you can see like the constraints and things like that to help the building. In terms of other stuff, I'm gonna look through here via the thing. All right, yeah. There's also, as the title implies, World Tour, which basically, like I said, you travel with the world. In order to activate World Tour, you have to punch a building, and if you see a flag, punch the flag. When you punch the flag, if you punch it over and over, you can get different areas. And if you leave it in that certain area for long, you get something called World Tour. And after you complete the level, you will go into a funny mini game where the monster is riding a blimp and you ride trying to get bonus points from like clouds, planes, a person on balloons. The only things that kind of decrease your points or rather don't give you points at all is balloons that hold a bomb of sorts. And after that, you basically land in the area. Like for example, if I were to punch a part of the building and it showed the Japanese flag, I would be in Japan and I would be possibly in Osaka. Another power up they added is something that is a new game mechanic, which is actually based on something from the original game, but added to a degree where it's even more harder. And that is an hourglass. The hourglass gives you more time. Why so? Well, I forgot to mention this. In the original Rampage game, if a soldier placed a dynamite in a building, and if you were slow enough to not get the dynamite, the building will blow up, and, well, you will miss one building. In World Tour, however, if you do not finish the area quickly enough, they will send an aircraft that will bomb the area and that will complete the level. So yeah, you're basically in sort of a time run with that. Another ability I also forgot to mention is security bonus, where if you basically punch things like, for example, a bone, a doll, or a teddy bear, well, again, depends on the character really, you will gain invincibility, so to say. So basically, anything you eat and whatever you get shot at or damaged, it won't it won't affect you unless the security bonus thing runs out. So that's basically it. And another power up, which also introduces a new character of sorts to this game, is toxic waste. Whenever you're in the final part of the World Tour, when you're in Scum Labs, when you see the Scum Laboratories facility, if you see this dumping purple toxic waste, if you eat it, you become a new character. This new character back then is called Vern. Vern is basically like the best way to describe him. It's like if Ridley fused with a gremlin. Vern is also like, well, he's a transformation, and he's also invincible and downright broken. One swing for Vern is the equivalent of a Mega Punch. And he can also shoot fire, he can glide, and he cannot take damage. So yeah, he can end the level faster if you actually get that. And once you do, the level ends and you see this creepy, I believe it's the boss of Scum Labs. He just looks creepy, and some levels it actually showcases Vern. It's like the Abomination. But yeah, in terms of like other characters that aren't the monsters themselves, there's this laboratory girl that you will see in the beginning of the game throughout mostly when the rocket monsters are causing wreckage, called Dr. Veronica. She basically assesses the situation, especially like how the monsters are and what their goal is, like, you know, to get rid of Scum Labs since they basically screw them over. And you had new enemies, like for example, this person, like you usually see these like people, this guy who flies and he shoots flamethrowers. Well, he has a flamethrower and shoots fireballs, just to say that, and that burns the monster alive. Then there's other things, like for example, the mini robots that shoot like machine guns and also spew fire. And then there's the more upgraded versions called Frybots, which are basically like, to describe them, it's like your stereotypical Gundam slash Megazord, and they pack a hell of a punch to the point where the monster actually will bleed if they get knocked the hell out. Other stuff that there is, obviously, the tanks are back. They do more damage than in. Well, they do the exact same amount of damage they did in the original game, but they're a lot harder to get rid of. However, if you jump on them, you can actually ride them and destroy buildings faster that way. Albeit when they end, the monster, it explodes and the monster like goes sky high until they reach down. And then there's the ship, I believe also made by Skullmines, which also stats you. And if you do the same thing where you just jump on them, you can also ride them, destroy things like that. In terms of other stuff, I'm trying to remember. It's basically it for the enemies. The game does have a goal, and like I said, it's your stereotypical Rampage where you destroy everything. But this time, you're destroying all the world to get rid of Skullmines. And once that happens, the boss decides to fight fire with fire, and he turns into a hellish abomination of a freak. He looks like the Blob if it was a ball, and has arms and looks horrifying. And then after you destroy the last city you're in, you head to the moon, of all places. And the Earth is that damaged where it looks like it got a chunk of it bitten off. And basically, you have sort of a final battle with like the mutated Scumlads boss. And after you kill him, which by the way is really graphic, because after you beat him, he pops and you see blood and guts. You know, for kids. And after that, basically, yeah, the game ends and Dr. Veronica chases you and decides and uses a new invention to get rid of the employees. And she does so. Or so she thinks. Because this new device doesn't get rid of the employees, it shrinks the monsters down to like the size of a mouse. And with that, the monsters went back to Earth. But thanks to that, Dr. Veronica was lucky enough to capture them, and that leads to the next game. So, yeah, that's the history of Rampage World Tour. In terms of console ports, I might as well do that. Ports, it was a part of the arcades. Then it was released for the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, the original Game Boy, and a version of it that's really rare, the Sega Saturn. But now on to the next Rampage game, which is the sequel to World Tour, Rampage 2, Universal Tour. In this game, the monsters George, Lizzie, and Ralph are captured. And they are separated into 3 parts of the world. George is in New York, Lizzie's in Tokyo, and Ralph is in London. Kudos to whoever got the jokes on that for where the monsters are located at. However,
I got the joke.
Godzilla.
yeah.
Godzilla.
However, unfortunately,
Is the wolf Ralph?
yes, the wolf is Ralph.
Of course, the wolf flies.
Apparently, everyone won't say that quote, but anyways, unfortunately, however, because Scum Labs is really stupid, and I'm surprised no one has decided to get rid of Scum Labs for all the crap they've done, a new breed of monsters shows up, and they don't just destroy the world, they also try to spree the other monsters. These new guys, this new trio, is Boris, Ruby, and Curtis.
I remember Boris.
And these new monsters, like I said, not only do they restart the Rampage and destroy the entire world, but they're also freeing the other monsters. Yeah, because letting Scum Labs still as a thing was totally a wise idea, guys. Idiots. And it was a rose. Oh, yes. So basically, the gameplay, it's not different. It's the same thing as World Tour, but the graphics are kind of improved. The characters are more cartoony than they were in World Tour. There's new things and new gimmicks, and obviously new characters. So I might as well get into the new characters. And also another thing about this Rampage game, and this is not the only game, this is the first game to do this, each monster has stats to depend on, well, which depends, what's the word I'm looking for? They basically define the character's traits. So, for example, Boris. Boris is a mutated rhino. Or, well, he's a rhino mutant. There you go. His traits are that he's not he has good walking speed. He's not a very good climber, but he makes up for it by being very powerful. He can destroy buildings, get rid of tanks and cars very fast, and yeah, he's basically a powerhouse, which will make sense because he is a rhino monster. And yeah, basically, And as for the Mega Foods, they also brought them back. For Boris, it's spinach. So yeah. And that also goes to a new gimmick, which I might as well go to now, which this and the next Rampage game have. Special powers. Each monster now has a special ability that's only for them. For Boris, since he is a rhino, he has the ability to charge, and whenever he hits a building, it would sometimes instantly destroy the building. So there's that. In terms of just characteristics, Rhino's Boris is basically the newer, or just basically the George of the new group, where he's sort of the hypothetical leader and the strong one at that. And after that, we go to the next Rampage. Well, the next new Rampage character, Ruby the Lobster. Ruby is also as where Boris is like the George of the group. Ruby is the Lizzie of the group, where she is hypothetically the second in command and also the only female monster in the group. Her stats is that she's actually the most balanced character in the game, where they're half and half. Like, she has half strength, she has half climbing speed, and she has half regular running speed. Her traits are that, well, yeah, she's a balanced character. So if you were to play a really balanced character, I would recommend choosing Ruby because, like I said, she's balanced. In terms of other traits, her mega food, I believe, is fish, and her special attack is that she performs a spinning roundhouse and almost mauls. Well, her she basically just wrecks buildings faster. It doesn't instantly do it, but it's enough to go back and finish the job basically. So yeah. Other than that, like, there's Ruby, and then we get to the last character, Curtis the Rat, who's basically the Ralph of the group. Curtis, he's the fastest of the three. He has good climbing speed, as far as I'm aware of, but he's the weakest, unfortunately. Like, he's the weakest one, which will make sense because he's basically a giant rat monster. And out of the three monsters, he's honestly the most cartoony looking. He resembles the rats, like the cartoony rats, the brown and like gray rat from Looney Tunes, which is very funny. His mega food is, if you couldn't tell since he's a rat, it's cheese. And his special attack is Bottom Feeder, where basically he goes Pac-Man and tries to eat anything and destroy everything that gets in his way.
Waka
Except it
waka.
doesn't really. Well, he doesn't eat the people that's in the ground. He just pushes them back and then they splat. Other than that is. Yeah, that's. Curtis.
Yes, people are laughing. Yes, people are laughing.
I'm sorry, I'm muting myself.
Alright. So yeah, that is the new people in the Rampage Wrecking Crew. So yeah, the objective is similar to World Tour. Destroy everything in sight, except there's no World Tours. The new thing is that since the monsters, George, Lizzie, and Ralph, are captured, you have to select which one you're going to rescue, and you go to that certain stand continent. For example, if you were to rescue, say, Ralph, you would go to Europe to do so. And you would have to destroy everything until you get to London, where you have to rescue Ralph. So yeah, each day for each monster, it depends. Like there's days where it's okay. I think in terms of the most, I think George has the most days to rescue him. I believe it's 25. Lizzie, I believe it's 20, and I believe with Ralph, if I'm not mistaken, it's 15 or 18. I could be mistaken. I've been in the Universal Tour, but I don't know how many days. But I do know they're not equally the same. So yeah. And as for the enemies in the game, they're the same thing. The tanks are harder to deal with. You can't ride them anymore, so that's unfortunate. the air strikers are back, but instead of, you know, when time runs out, they won't destroy the buildings, which ends the level quickly. Instead, they'll take away your health. And sometimes, if you don't have enough health, they will make you lose a life. Another thing about this game is that, like, well, actually, unlike most Rampage games, unless you're talking about the home console versions, the monsters actually have lives. So when you lose a life, the monster just, says ow or something like that. Just sit down. If you lose all your lives, however, you get a game over and the monster reverts back to the human form. So yeah, the objective obviously is you have to save the three. And basically, during like 5 days or so, or 10, you, because this is a home console Rampage game, in fact, the first ever home console Rampage game, or homemade Rampage game, you actually have save states. So yeah, when you beat a mini game, because there's also mini games in this one as well. After you beat a mini game in a city, you then have the ability to
Aha!
save
I
state.
can talk. Okay.
Alrighty then.
Okay, go back to what you were saying.
But basically, there are 3 mini games in total. The first one is you destroying a building. You have to destroy a building just in time before the timer runs out. And funny enough, it's the same building. The building you destroy is the Chicago Tower. But it's kind of a difficult challenge because you think you're destroying the entire building. There's actually 2 segments, the lower half and the upper half. So if you destroy the lower half, you have to go to the upper half and things like that. And once you do, and if you do it in a special time, before time runs out, the monster does an animation and you win. And you gain, your health goes back up, your full power, your special ability, the second meter, basically where if your ability, it goes all the way up. And the monster gains an extra life as well. So there's that. And you get the if you get the PlayStation version, which I recommend getting, the monster actually has animated cutscenes. So there's that.
Hey, Jeremy, real quick question.
What?
How many Rampage games are there?
If I'm trying to remember correctly, let's see. 6 Rampage games.
Wow.
So yeah. Now on to the
7 if you want to count the arcade one that they just made.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we'll get to that.
Is it a
when
train
we
wreck?
get to that, basically.
At the very end, don't worry.
The only train wreck here is my life.
Damn. What was it? A Rampage?
I mean, have you seen my upload schedule?
My upload
Hey, at
schedule
least
Your work
is
is
real
me.
shoddy, I can
Come
tell you that
down.
right now.
So back to
I haven't.
Well, we'll just try to finish the mini games quickly, anyways. Or the bonus rounds. Yeah, they're called bonus rounds. The second bonus round is where. You remember when I said the monsters have a funny animation where if you keep pressing the jump button, they flap their wings and they can glide?
Yeah?
They brought that back for this version as well. And one of the challenges is you have to fly to a dock to, get bonus points and beat the thing. But if you fall in the water, you won't get anything. So yeah. And the last one, which is kind of the most, when you think about it, it's kind of the most messed up but funny and cruel mini game out of all of them. You have to kick people that are falling and trying to escape you. And if you get a lot of points,
What the hell?
yeah, that's a mini game. And
Oh
that's
my
also-
gosh, it's too funny.
Don't act like we haven't talked about worse on this channel.
oh, you know what's even more messed up? Just like in World Tour, because World Tour did this. Again, you question if Rampage is really for kids. Whenever you kick someone or step on them, they're squished to the point where you see blood and guts.
Was this game made for kids?
Yes, it technically was.
Real quick, someone doesn't have headphones in and it's causing an echo. I can hear myself. It doesn't matter. Never mind. Just go back to what you were saying. It's gone now. It went away.
So yeah, that was the third mini game. And after you rescue George, Lizzie, and Ralph, you get passwords or cheats to unlock them.
Oh, real quick, I have a question about Rampage. Okay, so you've been talking about them like George, Lizzie, and Ralph are like a team in the games, but in the movie, it seems like they're trying to fight each other.
Trying to murder each other.
Yeah. Can you explain how that happened?
We're gonna get to that.
Well, we'll get to that after the game. I talk about the games. Well,
He's going into chronological order.
But I will say this: them fighting each other, that is another part of the games. Because one of the things that Rampage is also iconic is that players can beat the hell out of each other just for fun. And if the player if the other player turns back into human, and if you were to try to eat them while they're in human form, yeah, they kind of get a game over unless they pop in another coin or have an extra life.
We could always
that's kind of messed up. So yeah, you can eliminate the competition by eating them while they turn back to humans. Oh yeah, I remember one more thing. In World Tour, I don't know if this is in the arcade version, but when you have two players, you can literally fight in a grudge match in a coliseum, a football coliseum. Actually, no, a football stadium.
Football Coliseum. That needs to be a thing.
Yeah, it's just bigger than a football
if
stadium.
you have two players in World Tour, you fight in a football stadium. Alright, another thing I just remembered. This also goes back to here. There are two extra mini games if you have more than one player, particularly two. The first one is a grudge match where the monsters fight in a monster-sized boxing arena.
Well, that chicken for Popeyes.
Until the last one standing is the victor. And another thing is a time-based one where it's basically, as the title implies, it's a King of the Hills mini game where you basically, the monster who stands on the hill the longest until the time's out is the winner. Yeah, there's that. But after you rescue George, Lizzie, and Ralph, you get passcodes, like I said, to basically unlock and play as them. And even if you did beat the game, if you beat the game anyways, if you unlock the certain monster, you still unlock them, actually. They're still there. And yeah, in terms of their stats, I might as well go into their stats as well, and what they have in this game. George is kind of the strongest of the three. He has the best climbing speed, but he's not the fastest. Lizzie, I believe, is the fastest, has a good climbing speed, is the weakest in terms of strength. Ralph, I think, has a bit more strength. His climbing speed is not that good. His speed is average, and but anyways, onto her abilities. George has something called the Ape Stomp, where basically he does an animation where he jumps so high into the air he creates an earthquake when he slams down. And if you were to do this on top of a building, you instantly destroy the building. What?
I said bye-bye building.
Oh. Lizzie, because Lizzie's Lizzie, and if you already guess what Lizzie is based on, this nails it in the head even more. She has the ability where she can shoot 3 fireballs.
Okay, now they're just ripping off Godzilla.
Hey, Primal.
That was obvious.
Hey, Primal.
Yeah?
Dilo Production says I killed Dilo.
Oh my gosh, not this again.
Huh. And as for Ralph, because he is a wolf, Ralph has something called the Super Howl, where basically, similar to the Death Scream from World Tour, the vibration in his voice is so strong, it destroys, erects buildings, and if you were to be with other players, it gives them a headache. But yeah, after you rescue the monsters, even more worse stuff happens. Aliens invade the planet.
Oh,
well
God,
then.
not
Okay, now they are legit just ripping things off from Godzilla.
What do you mean ripping things off of Godzilla?
Wait, Godzilla had aliens?
Fire-breathing monsters?
Okay, you know what? Guess what? Hey,
Let me
Spawn
repeat-
Dragon.
Okay,
Spawn Dragon, take off the Spino from your name real quick and say your name.
Dragon.
Guess what? Dragons have existed for thousands of years, and they breathe fire.
That's because Godzilla's inspired off from dragons. I
The
guess.
point I'm trying to make is that just because something breathes fire doesn't mean it's ripped off Godzilla.
Even though
It's
Apparently,
bad.
some of
Trying to
the
say, like, everything is ripped off
inspirations to
Godzilla.
Ralph and
I wasn't.
George and Lizzie was Godzilla, King Kong, and the American Werewolf from London.
Werewolves in
bring up a
London.
little
How does that
point?
song go? Probably it goes copyrighted content.
Primal Earth, I wasn't saying that everything is ripped off from Godzilla.
Okay,
Okay,
I didn't say you
I'll
said
just
Don't look at my channel then.
all right. Let me
that. You're what?
reconfuse.
Don't look at my channel.
Help the confusion with Spino.
Why?
That doesn't rip off just because
Too much
aliens
Godzilla
show up
content.
after the monsters invaded. Which, by the way, aliens showing up after new monsters free the old monsters. That's the worst. Yeah.
That sounds like the plot of Godzilla 2017.
Please tell me there aren't
Why
aliens
not
in
about
Godzilla.
this?
Because aliens didn't invade, they try to help. But the aliens are the
So
bad
aliens
guys,
showed up
because-
after monsters destroyed a bunch of crap. So
Aliens.
Dang. They were the same.
Welcome
Anyways,
everybody
I
to
might as
Ancient
well-
Aliens. This time Godzilla edition.
Oh God,
Anyways,
no!
back to the Rampage
Burn it with
2.
fire.
You know
No,
they
they
probably made
know
one.
for-
You
no,
know
they
they
never
probably
did that.
made
They
a
know
video
for
about that.
They know for a freaking bloody fact that Godzilla was a natural creature caused by nuclear radiation, not freaking bloody aliens. Leave that for Ghidorah, Gigan,
Okay,
and the other.
let's
Apparently
continue.
he
Let's
was
get
on the
back to
Earth for
subject.
millions
Let's
of
get
years
back to
and woken
subject,
up by
people.
nukes. God.
Jerk.
Such a jerk.
You're
Doesn't,
such a nerd.
doesn't know these basic facts.
Can I speak?
Yeah. Continue with Rampage, dang it.
Anyways, the aliens
Anyhow.
claim that they will take over the world. Can I speak? Guys, seriously.
Sorry.
Hey, where's Rango at? He needs to be here. We're almost 100% complete for this live chat.
Primal. He was talking.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Back to the retrospective and the history. So now your new objective is that you're going around the parts of the world you haven't been in and also fighting off the aliens. And after you go to a certain point, when you go to Area 51, there is a new monster. And once
Uncle
you see
Sam.
that new monster, you be really...
Oh, God. I almost copyrighted the stream.
Okay, back from the joke that was lie even. You free this new monster, and he is a really different looking monster. His name is Mucus. Mucus is actually different. I might as well go to his thing and gameplay and stuff like that. Mucus is the most weird of the three, or of the monsters in the game. I might as well continue because people are laughing. Basically, Mucus's thing is that he's a one-eyed Cyclops alien monster. Which is weird because we don't know the origins of Mucus. We don't know if he was tested on as an alien and then mutated because of that, similar to the likes of George, Lizzie, Ralph, Boris, Curtis, and Ruby, or if he was like that from before, or his own kind did that to him and it resulted into that. But basically, Mucus, his stats, I don't remember the stats of the regular Mucus, but I think he's a pretty overall decent character to play as. His other gimp, well, yeah, I forgot Mega Food. His Mega Food is funny. It's a sundae. A sundae with chocolate syrup and a cherry on top.
Don't make me hungry.
And his special ability, which honestly is the most original one, he can, like I said, he's sort of a Cyclops. His ability is this. He can pop out his eyeball and it acts as a bomb.
What the heck?
but he can regrow a new one after he does that. So
What
there's
kind of
that.
acid were these people tripping on when they made that game?
Oh, all the acid.
The Lophosaurus acid.
Anyways,
Oh, God.
after you destroy Area 51 and free Mucus, the game now shifts turns, and you are now the good guys. Well, you kind of were the good guys because you were saving the other guys, but still, you are officially the good guys as the monsters chase back the aliens to their home world. And basically, as the title implies, you destroy the universe.
Yep, definitely the Lophosaurus acid.
From world to world, from pun to pun, like New York. Yeah, that's a thing. I think another pun was. What was another pun?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Carl Zeus here, coming out with the puns.
But yeah. Well, first level of space that you destroy is similar to World Tour after you destroy the world, the moon. Because why not?
Oh no, not the moon.
For the second time.
Oh,
But after you destroy the world and get to the aliens and destroy the thing that's, keeping them from doing their thing, the aliens say that go create a special broadcast saying that this thing is only a temporary setback and that they will be back stronger than ever, only for Mucus to eat the alien, and that's the end of the game.
No, get out.
And after that, that is the end of Rampage. Well, Universal Tour, and I forgot two other special things regarding Mucus. If you put in cheat codes, you can actually unlock two extra versions of Mucus. One of them you can unlock if you play Mucus in the main story, and if you go to his place, you get Purple Mucus. Purple Mucus, I will say this. He is, stats-wise, he is the broken character of the game, where his stats are full. Meaning he's the fastest monster in terms of walking, he's the fastest in climbing, and he's the strongest. In terms of gameplay, he plays as the regular Mucus, but all beefed up. And then, because this was made by Midway, mind you, there is a Easter egg skin that references one of other Midway's famous classics. And if you get this skin for Mucus, you get Nubis.
Nubis.
Yeah, no,
Nubius
I knew this.
Maximus?
It's Nubis.
Gluteus
Now-
Maximus, if you know what I mean, but I'm...
Oh,
Okay, if
God,
you
no,
know
get out.
Midway-
There's the door.
If you know Midway,
The door
what
is locked.
other game series did they have back in the 90s?
Back to the Future. I don't know.
Okay, Nubis's colors, and if you know this particular gaming franchise, his colors is that, well, obviously, yeah, he has the word noob in his name, and he's colored black.
That's racist.
Noot.
Oh my gosh, get out. I'm gonna unlock the door for you. Get out now.
Okay, if you didn't get the reference, like I said, Rampage back in the day was made and owned by Midway Games, who are deceased. And the other game series that they hadn't made was Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Nubis's skin was a reference to the character Noob Saibot.
Oh my gosh. That makes sense.
But yeah, after the events of Rampage 2 Universal Tour comes the game after that, which I recently played. Rampage Through Time. As if the world...
Yeah, I'm done. The
destroyed
series is dead
twice,
now.
And then space itself being destroyed wasn't bad enough. Now these monsters are sent throughout time, from past to future.
Well then,
I wonder who was
Does
responsible.
this mean we give him a Kenny, George?
No, we don't.
Sugar.
Mecha Lizzie,
No futuristics.
Space
Robo
Ralph.
Ralph.
Like for example,
Robo Ralph.
futuristic.
Instead of Lizzie, Li. That's a reference to instead of Godzilla Zilla. That was a bad pun. I'm gonna unlock the door and leave right now.
What's funny,
No. Call it Izzy. Just call it Izzy.
When you
Izzy, there we
really
go.
think about it, but speaking about
What the?
Zilla, when you really think about it, Zilla would have been a better design choice if they were to make a live-action version of Lizzie.
Yeah, actually,
I think I could design a better Lizzie, but that's just me.
I mean,
Just
I could just
don't
like
make it
put my.
scrawny, though.
Honestly, my bearded dragon would be a better part for Lizzie. I could just plop him in the movie and boom, no one would know the difference.
But yeah,
Hue
anyways,
saturation
the
so she looks like a dark
plot
green.
of, Rampage Through Time. Rampage Through Time is basically Rampage 3. And as the title as the title tells us to say that, from the story, Scum Labs makes a time machine that they use to carry out construction yet again for the destroyed cities.
Construction.
But somehow, some way, the monsters found themselves back from space, and apparently they were in Scum Labs. I believe living there. First, how do you have the monsters living there in Scum Labs, and you don't monitor them enough to the point where they break out, they see the time portal, and they all jump in?
It's Kaiju Park. Everything goes wrong.
Except with Back to the Future.
Awesome
Copyright.
combination. You've got Kaiju, you've got
Speaking of
Jurassic Park,
Chuck.
and you got Back to the Future. You've got the best thing ever.
Speaking
No,
of
the
Back
worst-
to the Future and
still
Jurassic
could
Park,
use- Could still use a little bit of Godzilla.
Instead of 10 Goldblums.
No,
And
only
the
9.
worst part is knowing how destructive the monsters are. If they were to mess up at any point in time, yeah.
Honestly, I could go on for days about how time travel works. Don't even get me started on that,
time
So,
travel's
yes.
trippy, bro.
bro.
But the
you probably have to
monsters
trip
don't
on acid to
just-
even
and the thing
understand
about
how to
the time portal is
understand
that
it.
The time portal.
At least it wasn't as
doesn't
trippy as Ready Player One. That movie was good, bro.
Did you see the T-Rex?
I loved it.
Yes.
Don't
We're
spoil
Oh my
it.
God,
I gotta see it.
They have movie exclusive rules for the T-Rex in Ready Player One.
Oh no.
Mega G.
And then
Mega G.
No, it's the
Mega
Jurassic
G.
Park T-Rex rules, but they've created new ones.
Guys. We're talking about Rampage, not Ready Player One.
But T-Rex
We don't
in
care about the
1970s
T-Rex.
King Kong.
You shut up right now. We care about the T-Rex.
we
Okay.
can't Rexy here.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
Lizzie can kill Rexy.
she's-
No, she can't because then the look. You want to pull a Jurassic Park 3?
Gundam
That's where
vs.
you're heading.
Mechagodzilla.
That's where you're heading. You're about to pull a Jurassic Park 3, and no one likes that movie.
Yeah.
Except actually, the monsters can.
Can I bring up a point, please?
Sure.
I kind of want Jurassic World 3 to be Jurassic World Park 3, basically.
Yes.
Just to fuck with
yes.
everybody.
Yes. But no Spino v T-Rex. That's just
Oh crap!
Profanity.
Profanity!
Okay,
Call the police!
guys, can I
There's
finish
minors
the
watching.
rules? We're
Hey,
halfway.
hey,
we're
shut
halfway
up.
to finishing. We're halfway through finishing the retrospective.
Halfway.
And I've only been
We're in
here
the fourth
for
How long is this?
43
We're in the
minutes.
fourth game. We're in the fourth game. And like I said,
And how many games are there?
can I please talk? No interruptions. About Ready Player number insert.
5.
Thank you. Anyways, after said thing is said and done,
Mr. Dinosaur Boy, what is
this
that
game
picture?
Is basically the graphics and details and the game.
Which one?
I'm sorry, Jeremy, continue.
The graphics and gameplay is the exact same as Rampage 2 Universal Tour, but the difference there is that in this game, you're actually accompanied by 2 other monsters. But that's the kicker. Rampage Through Time, in disguise, is a party game. It plays like a regular Rampage game, but it's also a competitive fest. As in, yeah, you guys question me about why these guys in the movie are fighting each other. Rampage through time, you have to fight to win. For some reason. Even though these monsters helped each other out, it's like in the second part, oh well, I guess friendly alliances only last just a certain while. Because the things you have to do to win are to eat a lot of people, destroy a lot of buildings, and punch the crap out of other monsters. So yeah, it's a very competitive game. It's honestly the hardest thing to do, especially the punching part. So yeah, after you visit a certain time zone, like for example, you go to say like Eskimo, Neo Japan, Atlantis. Yeah, I know this is the weirdest game in the series, admittedly. After you destroy 3 areas in each zone, you are treated to a minigame. It gets weirder than that. Because depending on which state you are, the minigames can get weird. For example, you can be in the Old West. One of the minigames is the monsters wear cowboy hats and shoot guns of icons on themselves to get bonus points. Another game is that you're in space shooting other players with rockets that the monsters are controlling. And then there's the
Why do the monsters have rockets?
The monsters are riding rockets that shoot missiles in space.
Why do the rockets shoot rocket missiles?
I don't know. Question Rampage through time.
I'm questioning the people who made that game.
And then there's Eskimo.
Whatever they had, I want it.
Then there's the minigame Eskimo, where basically you have to match 3 ice blocks together to get 10 points to win that. I hate that minigame to a degree because it is so hard, especially the fact that you can break an ice block if it is basically blocked up and cannot move. So yeah. The monsters, like I said, they're the same as the last Rampage game. They don't have stats in this version, so the monsters are literally the same. Which also goes, technically speaking, to the repetitiveness that is Rampage, because Rampage is kind of repetitive, admittedly speaking. However, though, there is a new monster in this game who is seen through the cover, and that is Harley the Boar, or Harley the Hawk, whatever. Harley is weird because we don't know where he comes from. He's the only new guy, and his ability, or his mega food, is it's a chicken drumstick. And his ability, which... Oh my god, his ability. His special power is... he lets out a powerful bloat.
No way.
I don't know why. Apparently farting...
People are about to
can
come out. I'm going to have to go
buildings.
mute again.
What?
People are about to come out. I'm going to have to go mute again.
Alright. And after... yeah, Harley... I don't know why he was included in the game. Why didn't they include other new monsters? That was the case, then I don't know. So yeah, after you just messed up the entire timeline, Scum Labs launches a anti-mutant defense aircraft, which you think they would have done that in the first place. I'm just saying, but okay then. And they travel back in time, and you have a final battle. And the game actually has 2 alternate endings that depend on the outcome. If you were to lose the final battle with that thing, there's an ending where the people are relieved that the monsters are finally gone. However, if you manage to destroy the defense aircraft, you get the normal, dark, true, good, whatever ending, where basically all of humanity loses hope because the monsters destroy all of time and destroy the last hope they had. which admittedly is actually dark even for Rampage. And yeah, that is the thing of the story of Rampage through time. In terms of how it was, people don't like this version because they said that this one felt the most repetitive and the story, well, the mini games especially did not help, and they don't like the fact that the other players are also a nuisance. And the worst part is the nuisance part is a part of winning. Again, you have to beat the hell out of other people. That's one of the 3 requirements of this game. Just being someone else, eating the most food, and destroying the most. That was the requirements for beating a level in Rampage through time. In fact, if you didn't met those requirements, you can get a game over pretty fast. Especially if you don't win a minigame. So, yeah, it was something, and I will admit, with the plot and how it is, this is officially the weirdest Rampage game I've ever played. And now we get to the Rampage game, which I do not love. I do not like this game. This game sucks ass, in my opinion. I don't know why it was made. It was a failed attempt at making a Rampage game for another Rampage game for on the go, and technicality, it was the first ever modern Rampage game before the next game we're going to talk about after this. And that
Was
is
it
for
puzzles?
Game Boy Advance Rampage Puzzle Attack. You think a Game Boy Advance version of Rampage will be decent, right? You think it'll be the same exact thing, right? Good graphics, better sound design, things like that. Ha 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 ha! Wrong. Rampage Puzzle Attack
George is blue. Do you know that?
As the title implies, the best way to sum it up, it's Rampage meets Tetris. Except it's actually legit garbage.
Dun dun dun.
But the thing you have to do, there's no story. You're just playing Tetris with Rampage characters in the background. You don't even control the Rampage characters. They just appear in the background. They'll just climb a bit, they'll smile, they'll run, they'll make grunts, they'll punch the thing to a degree. But other than that, they don't do much. They're just there to be there. Seriously. It's basically Tetris with Rampage characters in the background.
Also, isn't, from what I hear, George was blue in that game. He had a bluish
Yeah,
t-shirt.
he was blue for some reason. I mean, granted, I can understand because the Game Boy Advance limitations. Actually, no, that's bullcrap because they have Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance, and that looks pretty fine. And they have games like Wario Land 4. So, I don't know why he looked like that. And in terms of designs, they carried the exact same design from Universal Tour and Puzzle Attack, well, through time. And how you get monsters in that game is that you play rescue mode, where you do puzzles to free the monsters. The monsters you get in that game are George, Lizzie, Ralph, Boris, Curtis, Ruby, Mucus, and for some reason they bring this guy back, but instead of being an altered costume, who's his own character apparently, they bring back Nubis, who's his own character. Which is funny because the recent new character in Through Time, Harley, doesn't come back. It was like, what was even the point of making that character if he doesn't even make a return in this game at least? So yeah, wasted potential. Lovely, guys. But yeah, in my opinion, this is my opinion. If you play Rampage Puzzle Attack, and if you felt some resentment, again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying this in general, I'm just saying it in my humble opinion. This game sucks. This, to me, is the worst Rampage game ever. I have played better puzzle games than Rampage Puzzle Attack. In my opinion, don't get Rampage Puzzle Attack. Seriously, do not. If you want to get a Game Boy Advance version of Rampage, which there technically is besides this, get the Game Boy Advance port of the original arcade game. Which even then, you can play the original arcade game nearly anywhere, or just a port of it from an emulator. seriously, do not get or do not play Rampage Puzzle Attack. That's all I have to say. That game's garbage. It's never been made. There could have been other better content and things like that for Rampage. And in terms of story, like
I will do a full game recording and playthrough of Rampage Puzzle Quest just to annoy the shit out of you.
Not even Puzzle Quest, it's Puzzle Attack.
Oh my gosh! If you do, I will totally watch that.
It's called Puzzle Attack, and even
I will
then,
do it out of
I won't be
spite.
annoyed. My thing is this: I won't be annoyed with me watching it because I'm not the one playing it.
I'll just have like your like name flash up on screen every couple seconds, just showing that who's the one who made me play this.
I didn't make you play it. You forced yourself to play it. But regardless, we're near the end, so here we are going to talk about the last Rampage game made in existence, technically speaking.
Called Where's Rango?
I said a Rampage game,
Where's
not Rango.
Rampage?
Because that game's
Where's
been going
Rango?
for a while.
Alright, let's wrap up things
Is
to
it-
a degree. The last Rampage game, which is on my TV right now, but I'm not playing it, and that's Rampage Total Destruction.
My most favorite one for some reason.
Such an edgy title.
Rampage Total Destruction, like I said, is the last Rampage game ever made before the series had a long hiatus. This game, very special trivia about this game, it was made by the same people who did the Atari Godzilla trilogy. So, yeah. Anyways,
Even more reasons why I like that one.
Yeah. Now, in terms of story, again, it kind of has a story just like Rampage through time. Well, Rampage World Tour, Universal Touring Through Time, where basically,
soda.
and this is where everyone makes the mistake. This is where that mistake came from because it was in this game, where basically Scum Labs is trying to be like this business company that sells that's doing this Scum Soda challenge, where basically if you were a contestant compares a soda by drinking Scum Soda, and they claim it's the best thing they ever had. The only downside, or the bad part, however, is that it has side effects, and they turn into giant mutant behemoths of mass destruction. You think they would have done this with at least one person, which you think they do because you very clearly see it, but depending on the copy you have, for my case, I got the Wii version, but usually it will be the number of contestants they had, 30. 30 individuals try this. And with the version I had, the Wii version, it was 40. So let's count the Wii version. Not one, not two, not three, no. 40 people tried this and had the same thing happen to them. Gee, what could possibly go wrong there?
Everything.
And after yeah, exactly. And after that is said and done, the monsters, these new monsters, run amok worldwide. Now, in terms of story, like I said, yeah, that's the story. And yet
Story of
again,
Rampage life.
yeah. And like
You don't know my life.
Like Rampage World Tour, Rampage Soul Destruction is also a reboot of the series, so there. The gameplay in Rampage World Destruction, this is what makes it stand from most of the Rampage games. This is the first ever 3D roaming Rampage game, where basically you can interact with the environment more so because you can walk away. Instead of just going from side to side to the buildings, you can actually climb in front of the buildings, walk around the environment, grab and chuck cars, eat people just grabbing them or even tossing them, kicking cars, jumping jumping really high, doing double jumps, having new moves. Like, for example, you can do a spin attack in the air. Instead of whenever you kick, you do like a double drop kick. but you can actually like use that to push yourself forward, or just keep spamming it over and over, like using it as the momentum to destroy a building. You can even destroy buildings by just being on the ground. And yeah, in terms of gameplay, every monster they play the same, but depends on the animation they have. But in terms of the monsters are in this game. Let's count the the Wii version, since again that has the most characters. In this version, obviously, George, Lizzie, and Ralph are back, as well as being newcomers right here. These newcomers are Gilman the Blowfish, Ramsey the Ram, Rhett the Rat, Leon the Lion, Croc the Crocodile, Cal the Squid, Kyle the Cyclops, Icky the Echidna, Edwin the Invader, Amanda the Armadillo. Let's see who else. Yes, Natalie the Nautilus, Jill the Jellyfish, Jack the Jackalope. I'm trying to remember other people. Okay, I remember. Venus the Plant, Harley the Well, not Harley. Similar to Harley, Wally the Warthog, Nick the Demon. Yeah, one of the mutations is a skull flaming demon. You figure that out.
Yay.
Rocky the Granite, or Fire Golem as I call him, because it's a rock monster.
That's on fire.
Yeah. Kingston the King Cobra, Shelby the Tortoise, Marco the Shark, let's see, Rojo the Bull, Harry the Yeti. Again, I'm trying to remember the monsters in this game.
So there's a Yeti and a white gorilla. How can you tell them apart?
Easy. One of them looks more human than the other.
Oh.
And besides, one of their skins is actually blue. There's a gun.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, Primal. George in the games is not, unless you want to count puzzle, George in the game has been like a brownish color the entire way through until the movie and the puzzle attack.
If you guys check the trailers, George is actually blue. No, blue. I messed that up. Never mind, go about your day. Just ignore me.
Alright, so,
No.
Yeah, I remember the other monsters. There's Joe the Wild Man.
That sounds
Which
like
is
my
weird
favorite.
because the Wild Man is actually a Bigfoot.
Yeah, which is even more funny because this one has a Wolverine hairdo. And it's said to be more ferocious than the Tasmanian Devil.
Boy,
Yes.
no.
Yeah, wild men are actually, there's actually a wild man reported not too far from where I live, so
You gonna die, son.
I'll live. Don't worry.
When you
I know
die,
you
do I
guys
get
care
your
about
figure
me.
collection?
No! I'll give you a boot to the head, that's what I'll give you.
Well,
You'll be dead.
That's what I'm giving everybody at my funeral. I'm telling my lawyer that. I say, give them all a boot to the head before I die.
Alrighty, then. Let's see, after that, I'm trying to remember the other monsters. And then there's 3 monsters that you can unlock only by doing special things. And those monsters are Igor the Alien, Bubba the Blob, and Filbert the Ongulette. I think that's how you pronounce it.
The only Bubba I know is that scary guy in prison.
Well then, that's something.
Want to
Yeah,
tell us why
that's
you were in
about
prison,
3 days ago.
Dinosaur?
I wasn't. I'm just saying I know a guy in prison named Bubba, and he scares me.
Sure.
What's that meant to mean, boy?
He's saying that you were in prison.
What do you think it needs to mean?
I don't know.
Good.
I need an adult.
No,
Oh, wait,
that's
I
what
am
you
an
need
adult
to say
next
when
month.
you're trying to. No, that's what you need to say when you're going after a tank in GTA 5.
Anyways,
Well, I need an adult.
I need an adult.
And now
Oh
we
my
go
God.
To the 10, finally, we go to the 10 last monsters that are only exclusive to the Wii version. 3 of them are actually returning monsters from the classic series. The first one is Boris. He returns. Ruby makes a comeback. And the last one I'll say for the last because he was kind of a surprise because he never showed up in any Rampage game except for one, and this is the last game he appeared in. But the other monsters that are new and exclusive are Sarah the Spider. Let's see. Fabio the Flea, which horrifies me. Squirmy the Worm. Yeah. Squirmy the Worm.
Literally made
So
out of
original.
worms.
Fifi the Poodle.
Fifi's
Cyril
scary.
the Squirrel. And oh yeah, Brian the Brain. Yeah.
I don't have the words for that one. That one's just...
Yeah, that one is horrifying. And let's see, there's Plucky the Chicken. Oh, I forgot one more monster from the original 30 monsters. Bart the Bat.
Yo, mama! No. I'm sorry,
Really?
that was rude. And out of turn.
Yes, yeah, the last monster I forgot was Bart the Bat. And finally, the last monster who actually appeared in the original Rampage game, even though it wasn't a character that you can play, well, you can play as somebody you didn't select him, is Vern from World Tour. He actually makes a comeback in this game, but it's weird because he's not as broken as he originally was. He unfortunately doesn't shoot fire, and he doesn't have wings. Instead, for some reason, he's the only monster that wears like clothing, like a cloth that's like covered around his legs.
He's the only one that's not naked.
V.E.R.N. That is him.
Vern the Abomination. That's actually his mutation. It's Abomination. But yeah, those are.
He reminds me of a gremlin.
Vern looks like the camo beast from Primeval.
Oh God!
Except with
it actually does.
cloth.
So, the camel beast didn't have wings. I could shoot fireballs.
But it had big ears and looked like a
Bring
dog.
Primeval back.
Yes, please.
The Rampage might
I will give all the money. I will sell my future children for Primeval.
Well,
Smoke some weed while you're doing it. I don't care. Do something.
Slavery's
Go.
still illegal, you know.
Okay.
Well,
like,
tell that to
these-
Africa.
Turn dark.
These directors need to find some way to get back into the groove of
And Jesus
things.
Christ, dude.
Take a nice herbal bath. Smoke some weed. I don't care. Do something. Bring Primeval back.
No, bring Prehistoric
DH does not
Park back.
condone the usage of any herbal substances.
Anyways, on to
Smoke
the game.
weed all day, every day, boys.
I was gonna ask Nigel that. I
As
was
for
gonna
the
ask Nigel
gameplay
that.
of Rampage, Total Destruction, the monsters, like, there are 5 moves you can unlock. Well, 4 in the other consoles, 5 in the Wii version, where they added an extra one that's really useful. But the main 4 is, if you do... The other thing in this game is that you have to do challenges. Challenges unlock getting these moves, and also as well they help with requiring to unlock one of the secret monsters if you were to complete all of them. If you were to do a challenge like, for example, kick a taxi cab, 3 of them, you will get the ability to do, like, for example, a jump smash where you jump in the air, press a button, and have the monster slam down, which is very useful for taking out buildings faster. Another ability from the unlockable upgrades is the Charge Punch, which is my favorite, where basically the monster swings and creates like a red aura around their fists, and if you're doing in front of the building, they punch so hard, take out their arm, and the building falls faster. And if they're doing the sides, to do like multi-punches to each part of the building. Another ability is the Roar Attack, where basically, similar to, like, you know, Ralph and World Tour and the Death Scream, they can let out a roar with enough vibration to send things flying and destroy buildings. Another attack is the multi-spin, where you basically spin the monster around like 3 times. And the exclusive attack in the Wii version, which is the most helpful in my opinion, is the super jump, where basically if you press the jump button while the monster lands from their jump, the monster does an animation where with some of them put the hand down, look back up, and jump even higher. And you can actually use that ability over and over. Very useful for like getting off the top of giant buildings. And as for the environment, it's 3D, but really something. I actually do like the environment in Total Destruction. It's really interactive, and you can do funny stuff. For example, toss a bus that you finish eating people from, and toss it in a building, and that can help collapse it. Yeah, in terms of power-ups, there's speed boost, where basically the monster becomes way faster with its abilities. And then there's also as well Rampage, like an actual ability named after the game, well, the title. If you enter Rampage...
Yo, my cousin is watching our live stream, and he asked me to say this, okay?
He asked for silence? Okay.
Okay, then. Anyways, for the other part, where was I? Dang it, I forgot where I left off.
Yes! No more Rampage.
That still doesn't mean it's the end.
He's bull.
Yeah, I know. Blame will be
Get wrecked, MDB 2K. Yeah, man, I haven't.
No!
Wow.
I gotta go shopping for toy reviews, bro.
Okay, then.
Do you guys want me to post YouTube content or not?
Well, it's...
He's gotta make that good content to get that revenue.
By the way, if you
Oh
guys...
yeah, I'm not eligible for ad revenue, so I can't earn money.
Crap, they're still in the call?
Dang.
I'm trying to finish it up as fast as I can, people. But these distractions aren't helping.
Alright, because I've been thinking of ending it soon.
Alright, fine.
Don't kill yourself!
What?
Start.
You said you were thinking of ending it soon. Don't! You have so much to live for.
No, I said I was going to
Spino, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, is Spino Dragon talking?
Oh my god. He exists.
Jesus.
MDB. I said I was gonna end the stream, not end myself. Not even subtitle.
No, you can end yourself. Don't end the stream.
Okay.
Primal!
I'm just joking.
The retrospective.
Oh my god. No, I'm done.
You don't
I'm
make
out.
good jokes.
I'm out.
MDB. Chill out. I'm not those types of suicidal people. I'm not like that.
You were joking around.
What are you talking about?
No, never mind.
Primal.
Just don't end the stream.
Stop. Stop it. Get some help.
Oh my god. People! Do you want to...
Guys, we haven't even talked about the Metrocanthosaurus yet.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
No more talking until I'm finished with the retrospective. Seriously, I'm trying to finish it as fast as I can. But you be
This retrospective has been gone for my entire day.
Well, this is a retrospective. It's a back.
Oh.
You signed up for it. You sit back. You hold on to your butts and you relax.
This ain't Jurassic Park, it's Rampage! Get your quotes right!
Yeah, I know. But you decided to be in the stream. So guess what? Buckle up.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
Oh, you shut up.
No,
I'm
you
dying.
You shut up. And
No, you
no one's forcing you to stay here.
Best
This is
live stream ever, guys.
that actually hurt my feelings. Wow.
Actually, no, second best. That 4-hour one was
That-
cool.
that actually hurt.
This entire time I was actually working on my 2K jump special.
That actually hurt.
Rampage mode, you can also get all the abilities until the gate
Sorry,
runs
Mr.
out.
Dino Boy.
And then the other stuff.
Just
the
remember,
enemies,
just
the
remember
military,
2002 Godzilla SH Monster Art.
Oh my god, yes.
The enemies in this game are
There we go.
from cops to FBI's to the army, and scum labs themselves. Each stage has a final boss, which usually can be either a tank, a UFO, or an aircraft. And for some reason, the UFO can make tornadoes and lightning. I don't know. But basically, after you destroy everything, yeah. The ending of the game is also kind of dark, where basically, apparently no one cares about the mutations. They love scum soda. So, yeah. Everyone's screwed at the end. We're all giant monsters. And that was Rampage 2. Unfortunately, like Rampage, through time was
Nobody read the live stream chat.
In fact, Rampage 2.
Boy, me and my cousin are wrecking the live stream chat.
Oh God. But
Now
yeah,
that
Nobody
makes
read
me
my
want to look
message.
at the live stream chat. That makes me want to read it.
Jesus Christ, Mr. Dino Boy, stop that.
after Rampage Total Destruction didn't do so well, this series went on a hiatus. There was originally supposed to be a Rampage reboot for the Kinect, but that was instantly canceled.
Darn.
It
That's
showed
sad.
like what the monster really looked like. For example, George was more stereotypically apish. Ralph looked like a wolfman, and Lizzie looked like a chameleon that was mutated.
Wrecked.
It's not really a wreck, more of a scary thing, because imagine she was to destroy the city and you couldn't see her.
I can just imagine a giant chameleon with like a 500-foot tongue.
Mr. Dino Boy, why would you put that
Mr.
on?
500-foot tongue chameleon.
That is so...
I lick you.
However, there's something funny I found out recently. In Lego Dimensions, George actually makes an appearance in Lego Dimensions, where there's a level where you play old Midway games, and the Lego person you're controlling is like this arcade kid turns into George, and you play the original Rampage.
My charger just fell out of my phone. What the hell?
Yeah. But now let's talk about the extra stuff that was released and then it's done. The games that released with the Rampage movie. There's the arcade game that was released by Dave and Buster's, and only in Dave and Buster's, mind you.
No way!
It's basically, it has elements of the original Rampage mixed with the Total Destruction game. Nothing else. That's basically it. And then there's the one released for the website, Rampage City Smash, which basically you play as George, you destroy the buildings. George resembles his original arcade self, but with the colors of the new one, where he's basically albino, so an actual albino arcade George.
Albino arcade.
And basically, you just press, or if you have a phone, you tap it because you can play on your phone. And you tap to avoid getting electrocuted from the signs and billboards and the generators while destroying the buildings. And if you were to lose the game, another fun thing, which, yeah, this is actually very generous about them, you can actually play the original Rampage arcade game in their website. So yeah, it's actually really generous of them, despite that. But other than that, that was the Rampage retrospective. And
Oh yeah, we still got the movie.
Yeah.
White.
Hang on.
Of course the
Hang
wolf
on.
flies.
So I'm done. If you want to
something
ask
special.
me any
I got
more
something
questions
special for
about
this occasion.
Rampage, shoot.
Why is the gorilla white but has blue eyes and
That's
people call it
racist.
albino when it's clearly leucistic?
Boy, you're a nerd.
Shut up. I'm talking realistically here.
Hold
No,
on, hang on.
you're a
I got
nerd.
something. If we're gonna be talking about the movie, this is something special.
Of
Oh
course.
god.
Fucking would. Come on, that song sucks.
Why is Lizzie a mutated Dilophosaurus?
Storage Wars is underrated.
Why is someone playing that garbage song?
profanity.
This is why I used the other song for the teaser. Because I actually
Why is Lizzie a Dilophosaurus?
She's not the Dilophosaurus. Anything, I just found out what Lizzie looks like. I post that. You know what she looks like.
Anyone in the chat right now? My cousin is typing, not me.
Lizzie's a toast Dilophosaurus.
This is what Lizzie looks like.
No, that's not our thing. That's Gaming Beavers.
But I thought Toast was a carnivorous.
We have Meatball.
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 Meatball died. We need to revive him.
Yes, revive him. With the
No, this is
16
what
amps
Lizzie
of spaghetti.
I don't know if anyone will get what I'm saying here. This is what Lizzie looks like.
I'm not seeing anything.
Original Lizzie?
That is what she looks like.
That's Super Gator. What the hell are you pulling, bro?
Exactly.
It's not
Guys,
Lizzie.
guys,
It's
guys.
from Dino Croc versus Super Gator.
Guys,
Exactly.
guys,
She looks like it.
Really funny story.
guys. Swamp People versus Lizzie.
Really?
Hey,
He's a
Irish
Sonic.
kid. What? Did you ever think of people who, probably people when they first saw Lizzie in the Rampage movie trailer, they thought it was Croc?
Exactly. That's what I thought too. I was like, let me get this straight. Lizzie's a crocodile, despite the fact there is a crocodile mutated character in the last game. Does that make sense?
Logic.
Who said it was Lizzie?
It is Lizzie. This
So
Who
every
said that?
goddamn box.
even the Rock confirmed it. It's Lizzie.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't trust anything The Rock says. He claimed that Lizzie could beat Godzilla, and he is clearly wrong.
Yeah, that
Boy.
Yes.
Oh, I got
Godzilla will shred
Say
that
that to The
puny
Rock.
gecko.
His name is Ralph. People kept on saying that's his name on the internet.
Which I found funny,
That's
actually.
best quote best quote of that entire freaking movie.
Also, I
There's
saw
Strange
And it's
nerds
from
on the internet
Negan,
calling him
and
Ralph.
it's from freaking Negan.
Oh, by the way, I saw a clip with Negan's, like, of that scene where he was talking about what he does. He shows Ralph, he's chasing, I think, like a herd of buffalo, and he, like, kills one in the recorded footage.
Where is this footage?
It's from the Jimmy Kimmel show. You can find
Give
it.
me the link.
Jimmy Kimmel Show. Hop on pop.
Give me the
Dr.
link. woman.
Seuss?
What?
No, don't hop on pop.
That sounds
No, it
kind of.
was
That
a,
sounds kind of like I should call the police if you're hopping on pop.
It was.
That's an
it
actual
was-
Dr. Seuss book.
It was a Jimmy Kimmel challenge. It was a Dr. Seuss book, and it was turned into a Jimmy Kimmel challenge. You had to jump on. You have to hop on pop.
Guys, can we please talk about the
Father's
Metrocanthosaurus now?
Okay, here's
Yes.
the Japanese poster made by the same person who did it in the Godzilla store.
Oh damn!
So if people want to see the clip, I will give you the clips.
Oh,
There's
I'm
two
already
of-
watching it.
Oh my gosh, it caught it.
You saw the clip where he chases like the bulls or buffaloes?
I'm trying
So
to
nobody's
watch
gonna
it,
talk
but
about the
McDonald's has an
Metrocanthosaurus.
ad playing and won't remove it.
Okay, let's talk about the Metrocanthosaurus now, please.
You can do so.
Oh, hey, did you see the new species profile of the Metrocanthosaurus? Hey, look, it's Super Gator.
I did.
Now where's Dino Croc? I just had Pepsi.
Awkward silence.
Pepsi Man!
On his gorilla best friend in Rampage.
Sorry, I was watching the Ralph clip.
We gotta stop these things before they destroy the city.
Ooh, best turn it down before the copyright gets us.
Well, this is not as bad when I showed the actual Jurassic World trailer and we got a copyright strike.
Wait, what? We did?
I don't know, I got told we did.
Oh gosh, that'd be bad.
Even though everybody reacts to it and they're fine, we post it to review it and freaking we get copyright claim and crap. Like, can you like not?
That's because of our bad luck.
No, it's called favoritism. Since we're not actually reacting to it and we're analyzing and making fun of it,
You see,
Universal
we're
hates
not
us.
Logan Paul, so the
Guys.
YouTube hates us.
Can we get
YouTube
a
hates
moment of
everybody.
silence for the
They don't hate Logan Paul.
Can we get a guys? Can we get a moment of silence for the people at the YouTube headquarters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had too many awkward silences, though.
Yeah, but this is on purpose.
I'm still in the dark. What actually happened?
Some woman went into the YouTube headquarters and started shooting at people. They think her motive was for like domestic dispute or grudge. She injured 4 people and then she killed herself. Probably killed herself.
Oh,
Did she kill anyone?
She died. Well, 4 people as far as it was said that they were in the hospital. 2 were in critical condition. I'm not sure about the 4th one, but one of them is unstable, I think. As far as I know.
Well, hopefully they live.
Yeah, same. Gosh, some of us are already thinking it's because of YouTube's new policies, and no. It shouldn't be a reason to go gun-ho on people.
Where's the goat?
What's the matter, kid? You never had lamb chops?
I happen to be a vegetarian.
Vegetarian?
Wow, these new gifts I can make.
I don't feel safe here anymore.
I don't think anyone should be safe anywhere.
Dilo, let me just tell you, you're talking to my cousin right now, so...
Why are they all grey?
What? I'm not sure if people just left. And they just left.
What on earth just happened?
What happened?
Why would call?
Are we still live?
Whoa, what just happened? Yeah,
Why
we're
was I
still
removed?
live. We're still live.
No, I'm too lazy. I'm not going to join my Prime Life account. I'm just going to stay on JurassiCast.
That moment when you realize you accidentally pressed leave call.
I think we had a connection issue.
Oh, what the hell? The laptop just froze.
I was watching Dwayne Johnson on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and next thing you know, there's like, I get removed.
Exactly. Why was I removed?
I didn't remove you all.
We angered the goat.
Flag spike. I don't know what the hell just happened.
We angered the devil goat.
Does it also confirm that the goats are deaf?
Oh my gosh, that was a perfect beaver impression.
Guys,
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
we angered the piece of shit
Oh.
who I like to call the devil.
the goat.
The Logan Paul.
I said the devil, not Logan Paul or goat.
Logan goat.
Logan Paul, devil.
Bah.
Zoinks.
Like zoinks.
Anyways, I don't know what the hell just happened, guys.
Zoinks, Scoob.
I was muted.
I'm hating myself right now. I'm at that point. I'm at the breaking point.
Hey, Dyla, do you want to join for once?
He goes, no. I killed Dilo. I feel disappointed.
I are disappointed.
That's his answer. Is like, but yeah, the latest Rampage video game is that arcade thing that they just brought up.
It's repetitive, but look.
But that's
fun.
after.
I hate the fact that it's only on Dave and Buster's. Just because they have that Dave and Buster's Easter egg and the fact that they have a partnership with Dave and Buster's. Seriously though, like Dave and Buster's, you could have put it also in like theaters. Theaters still have arcades.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Theaters actually do have arcades. I've never noticed that until you just never mind. I'm done talking.
Like how they still have the Lost World Jurassic Park game from Sega.
Remember that arcade game with like rainbow T-Rexes and they kept jumping on you?
What?
It was a Jurassic Park game.
Okay, really?
Oh, you didn't know about the 30-foot wolf?
The 30-foot wall? Did you say the wall?
You didn't know about the 30-foot wolf?
The 30-foot wall.
Shut
That
up!
for some reason is in the caption.
At least he didn't call the wolf Lucille.
Also, I like what they started in like the clip with different free wordings. Like basically, it's like OGA. Like basically, when science craps the bed, I'm the guy who changed the sheets. Okay, then you're like the babysitter or something, like the parent.
You got another one of your little signs.
Guys, when does Rampage come out?
Next
April 17th.
week on the Friday the 13th.
Oh, what a great date for it to come out.
Sorry.
Guys, fun fact.
Was that you?
Yeah. Yes, that was me.
Okay, I was literally expecting Primal to do something, but no.
What were you expecting me to do?
I don't know, try and do something that I just did.
Die?
Friday the
None of us want diabetes.
No, I'm sorry.
Wilford Brimley source.
Top 2 diabetes.
Top 200.
Top 200. That's top 2 diabetes times 200. Alright, we should stop that. Anyways, anything else on Rampage before we go back to JWE?
All I can say is screw Marvel for changing the release.
Guys,
date
my
and the
cousin
story.
asked if you could read the live chat.
Oh God. I don't want to open it. I swear, Primal, don't ever make that noise again.
What noise?
I'm not making it.
I didn't make any
Into the
noise.
mouth. Noise. Do you know the way?
I hate all of you. Goodbye.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
No,
See,
no,
see you, average.
no. You, whoever said it, 7 days.
You do not know the way.
Said what?
It's only
7
non-believer.
days.
It's
6
catching
days.
on. What are you talking about? I'm already dead.
To have you
Inside.
been tortured.
Yes, every day of existence is torture.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to do anything. Life is torture enough.
Oh.
Dilo, be quiet.
No store within an hour radius of my town is selling Jurassic World toys, and not even my town is selling them. So I am
That's 'cause-
screwed.
That's because they're not supposed to be released until April 15th.
Hey!
I know. I messaged all the stores that would sell them in my town and in the next towns, and the only town I can think, the only store I can think of having them stocked when they come out is an hour and a half away.
You know, there's this really great store called Amazon that you can go to. They sell everything and ship to anywhere.
They only have pricing in USD, and I use AUD, so I can't understand that.
Convert to USD, duh.
Do you know how lazy I am? You can't just ask me to do that.
America is the land of lazy.
It's the reason for me not having an upload schedule.
Well, you live in Australia.
Tired of your shit raining, boy.
Oh, that's the Biolante.
Yeah. Did we just get purged?
That this is happening.
Well then.
Did we just get purged?
What the heck is going on?
Okay. This one.
It's the hackers.
Why?
It's alright, I'll hack them back.
Am I the only one excited for the Rodan band I figure coming out?
Yes.
The Rodan thing. What? Oh, Rodan?
Yeah, they're releasing a new Bandai Rodan to go with the Biolantes.
And the Rishu Mecha King Ghidorah.
What about Zilla?
We need that, please.
It's just like Japan is like steering clear from Zilla. It's kind of sad.
Zilla's awesome. I
Funny,
just don't use them correctly.
He's turning 20 next month.
He's. Oh. Man.
Can they release an SH Monster Arts Zilla on his birthday? That would be awesome.
He's on the. He's. Yeah. He's,
I would kill for an SH Monster Arts Zilla. I would buy and create that myself if I could.
Oh, same.
Also,
like we need a new Zilla figure.
We need a good Zilla.
Just
imagine if they made a special edition version where they made the spines translucent green and gave him a green fire effect piece.
Imagine if Zilla was
awesome.
a good
It'd
movie.
be like,
ooh.
It's a good monster movie. It's just not a good Godzilla.
It's not a Godzilla movie. That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. However,
it's the worm guy.
I absolutely love.
The worm guy.
The TV show to bit.
You're standing in it. It has over 200 offspring. Me people need me, dude. I'm getting taking that. I'm taking all the memes.
Make sure to credit.
What's credit?
Credit? Creditkarma.com?
I have no way. You're not speaking English. Speak English.
Inglés.
¿Cómo estás? No hablo inglés, señor.
Rip Stephen Hawking.
No hablo inglés.
Rip the good guy.
Okay, man.
We only have Neil left. And Bill.
Sinclair.
Bill Nye.
Yeah. I want to do an ear rape video of that. Just like dinosaurs.
If he posts that, I'll never watch any more of your videos ever again.
So welcome everybody
God
to the
damn
portion
it.
of the podcast where we talk about random stuff the rest of the day.
This is the best part. This is the best part. Everybody came for this.
Can someone pull up Pixlr and start drawing stuff?
Anyways, I'm gonna go. The retrospective was done. That's all I have to say. Purpose has been fulfilled.
It was nice having you, Jeremy. Make sure to come back online for the next one.
I don't know. What I do know is that I will be looking at my Elma stuff. So
Primal Earth, you're in the JurassiCast account.
I know, I'm lazy.
Oh, now you just got back.
My phone's being weird and like hates my Primal Earth account for some reason.
Oof.
I'll be looking at this.
Get him.
Oh, Dino production showing.
His channel taken down.
Wow, I'm 16. Ha ha.
I'll be looking at my
not bad.
life. This is my life right here.
Your wife. What's your wife? Elma!
Oh my god, you know her.
No.
I've seen the entire anime. I love it. Give me season 2.
You've seen the Elmo
My
anime?
life.
It's called Kobayashi's Dragon, mate. It's the best anime.
Elmo the anime.
Pretend
for
for once.
Kana is
never
best
mind.
lolly.
The girl version of Elmo.
Okay, so you guys,
Elma,
pretend for once
you
that
freaking ningen!
some
Low life mortal!
Guys, do you want to know?
giving me accurate depictions of my existence.
Guys, you know
What?
what you just said about Elma?
What?
She gay.
Elma,
Elmer Fudd.
female version of Elmo.
Shut up.
Be quiet.
Shut up. This is why you
Leave.
stay
The
shut.
door is
This is why
open.
you
Get
never
out.
Shut up, you're heathen.
Elma, the female
Shut up,
version of
Little
Elmo.
Dragon. You
Get
are
out.
a nerd. You are
Out.
lame.
Out now.
Nerd.
Oh,
Everyone, curb
Why?
idiot.
Curve stomp. Do it.
Curve, start that burn.
I am going to do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Since no Dragon Maid, here's this character.
Oh god. Guys, my leg fell asleep. Help me. I can't run anymore. I want her. Give me that character in the anime.
I don't think you want her. If you read the manga,
Which I don't.
good God.
Cows.
Who's fapping? We don't need that right now. This is PG stream.
I'm talking
why
about
did you even
cows.
describe it? Oh my gosh, dude. Huh.
Can we just like have like an
No.
M rating warning before every stream?
Yeah.
We're a PG
I think
channel.
It's time to edit here before things get a little crazy.
What do you mean? This ain't crazy. You ain't seeing crazy.
This is a
Yeah.
PG channel,
Crazy,
guys.
yeah.
I promise.
Jabby the Hog. Everybody go watch that. That's so PG.
I think we should end it. Everyone's getting tired, and it's really catching
Ask
up.
Melania.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
actually
hear.
getting tired myself.
Ask Melania. It's tremendous.
Jeez.
Swivel
channel,
here.
guys.
Yeah, I think it's time to end it here. So,
Okay, well, I'll perform the outro. Lol, what's sleep? Subtips for the week.
I have the end broad.
Have fun and make sure you know about the 30-foot wolf.
Yeah. Bye.
Make sure that you remember, if you don't know every name of every state in the United States of America, you will die a lonely death.
Okay.
Well, I'm Australian, so I don't know every name of every state.
Okay. You know
I
what?
guess that sucks for you, Mr. Dino Boy.
Crap.
Okay. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of JurassiCast, and be sure
And
to
if you didn't burn.
channels. Me, Spino Dragon, Dinosaur Hunter, and MDB2K, Primal Earth, and Average Kid, aka Jeremy.
And Saucy
There's
Boy.
too many of us.
I'm going to hurt you. I will hurt you and the streamer.
Hey, at least I didn't joke about it.
Toodles.
I didn't joke about it.
Okay.
I didn't joke about
Remember to go see Rampage, dang
It could have been the Stan Lee episode.
Okay. But yeah.
Am I the only one who wants to call him Jeremy?
Subscribe to JurassiCast, and it will mean a lot to us. So.
No, it won't. We don't care about your subscription. Just subscribe to us so that we can get big.
That's what she
Subscribe
said.
to our Instagram,
Wow.
Facebook,
You are a
Twitter,
greedy person.
MySpace, your space.
I'm not greedy. It's just the truth.
If you give us money, we can do actual proper microphones.
If you give us
and
money,
we can
we
actually
can go
sound like
buy
real
stuff.
people.
Okay, well, yep.
If you give us money, we can go out and have fun.
If you give us money, we'll
Totally
do
not
Let's
pick
Plays on
up
the channel.
posts.
And the stream already.
Oh, okay.
If you give us money, we won't end the stream.
Remember to watch Rampage!